Okay, folks, last two of the day. Two left for you now. This one, and then there'll be one 15 minutes later. They link to one another. So if you hear this one, go to the next one. It mentions viewers, it mentions subscribers, but it's not about subscribing. It's not about that at all. It's about an idea I've had for those that watch the channel. But anyway, I've got this question for you folks before I air that last one. Have you heard me today? Have you? Were you one of the few that heard me? When I say that, you're hearing me on here, I know you are. Did you hear me on that there radio today? Oh yes, I made another fleeting visit to the Talk Sports Show this morning between 10 and 1 with Jim Simon and the great Martin O'Neill. I love Martin, a big hero of mine, Martin. Big hero. Yes, I rang in today for the phone in. It was only a quick call. It didn't go the way I wanted it to go. Mainly because Martin was the one out of the three of them that didn't really agree with all I said. But I never got a chance to talk to him. I'd have loved it because I love Martin, as I've just said. They were talking about the Marcus Rashford thing. So if you listen to the Marcus Rashford bit, the backstory is, if you've not heard it, is he went to a couple of nightclubs last week, I believe in Belfast, Wednesday, Thursday night. Rang him Friday morning to training, sick, couldn't make it, missed training. At the end of that, he missed the match yesterday, the FA Cup against Newport. And I think he's on for a disciplinary. I think they're discussing it today. I think it's his brother, his agent's in with him today. I've not heard the upshot. I don't know what's happened. I've heard nothing yet. It's late on in the day, but no doubt the news is already out. I've not heard it yet. Anyway, I did a piece on air yesterday. You may have seen it. You probably didn't, because only about 30 have. Along the lines of, I've got great concern with Rashford. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the second or third time now he's been in the disciplinary. It follows on the back of Sancho, who messed about with training, and he's down the road. We heard lots of rumours about lots of people messing about training-wise and what have you. When Ollie was there, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, they say he was a great man manager, but he was a bit lax at the same time, let him get away with murder, and there's still remnants now in the old changing room there, which Eric is trying to sort, but I think he's struggling, and I think he may have lost elements of the dressing room because he's going in the complete opposite of Ollie. But I said yesterday, it's crazy, it's not just the Rashford bit. I read yesterday that Van der Beek, who's gone to, I think it's Eintracht Frankfurt, in one of his first games, they play him from the start over the weekend, 45 minutes down the line, he's made 8 touches the whole first half, playing as a number 10, where most things go through the number 10. He's done absolutely nothing at all. They fucked him off, brought him off, rubbish. You've got your man Annabelle there at Seville. He's gone there on loan as well, both trying to secure contracts for themselves. The Seville, the higher echelons are not happy with him, the coach isn't happy. They've sent him home. They've said, what you're doing is not what we require at Seville. You've got to realise where you are, what we expect of you, and what kind of level of professionalism we want. And when you realise all of that, come back into the fold. But until then, you can sit at home in your luxury villa, apartments, or whatever else it may be. I don't know what he has or hasn't done, but I'm thinking to myself, well, we've just been Sancho. He's gone out on loan to Dortmund because he can't cut it with the manager, and his time keeping, I believe, is supposed to be lax. We've got Rashford, the player on the biggest wage at the club on 350 odd grand, rather party than coming for training. And then you've got 2 players that are out on loan who don't look like they're doing the job properly. You think they'd be looking at securing a contract elsewhere or getting a place back at United, and they're just not cutting the mustard. And I'm thinking, what's going on in that club? So I mentioned it today. It's awful when you don't talk, but I mean, he's been on it a lot in the past. You may have read my intro. I heard my intro. It tells you all about it. I stopped bringing there because you get fed up with it. You get fed up with hearing your own voice. You're worried that others might get fed up with hearing your own voice. I spent most of my time banging my head against the wall with Simon regarding Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We had differing opinions. If you've not heard it, watch the video. I think it's alright, and I think if you hear it, you'll end up siding with me more so than old Simon, for all everybody loves him. And the problem with the show is, you get to speak, but you don't really get to speak. You never know when they're going to cut you off. You never know when one of their pundits is going to jump in, and then you're expecting to give them a riposte and say something back, and you don't get a chance. I'd have liked to have been able to say to Martin what I meant and why I brought those 2 people up, because the first thing Martin said was, well, I don't think Erik ten Hag can be blamed for how bad Donny van der Beek is playing in Eintracht Frankfurt. I know that. What I was trying to say is he's come from that very, very same dressing room where we've heard there used to be a lot of trouble in the past under Ollie. And I'm thinking to myself now, has Eric lost that dressing room? Because we've read that in the past that some might not be taken to his ways. We've had them playing for us, they've gone abroad and they're still not doing it. And I'm thinking, what kind of culture's in there and what's got into these players? Have they all become big time Charlies and think they're above whatever club they play for? That's a worry of mine. I said today on the show, I'm hoping that Eric can sort it all out, but my worry is, before he gets the chance to sort it all out, he might be bulleted. And that's the big worry. And they should have gone into that, but didn't do. But as I say, that's the problem with the radio. You don't get time to talk. Had I been a football pundit, somebody well known or an ex-football player, and they'd have had me on the show, even only on the phone, we'd have had a 10-15 minute conversation and you'd have got your points across, and those listening could have heard their views on what you're saying. You don't get that on there. You do on here. I do on here, because the thing I did yesterday on here about those three players was better and put across better than I've done on the radio today. Because you talk quicker on the radio as well, because you're worried you're going to get cut off. You don't know how long you've got. You know there's other callers waiting. But I just wish I'd have got a bit longer to try to nail down, drill down on a point, and you didn't get that. And I was gutted, as I say, that Martin wasn't in the same camp as me, because I like old Martin, I really do. You might have heard me mention that already. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you, but I am. But if anybody heard me, you probably heard me and thought, oh, I didn't realise it was the guy that's got this channel, because obviously I've not gone there as Britain's grumpy Stolgate for all I am, and I was a bit grumpy after the call, to be honest with you. I've just gone on there as Dave, my alter ego. Anyway, to that end, whenever this airs, it'll probably be about 8:15 tonight, so about 8:30, if you get the chance, there's a follow-up to this story, and it's a follow-up for every single person that visits the channel and every subscriber I've got. On the back of that, I had an idea. You know, they say you get these, what they're called, light bulb moments. I had something of a light bulb moment. I've got an idea for the channel that I think could be really good. So I'm going to mention it in 15 minutes' time, and let me know what you think. See if anybody's up for it. It's just an idea, that's all. It's only an idea. Only an idea. Nothing more than that.